Now this one's called a step through. Y'all have probably seen this online with, Coach BT Jordan, Dr. Rush, and all those guys. What this is working is guys being able to bend at the top of their rush. Do this at the top of their rush. This is the hardest part of rushing the quarterback, where if his launch point is at 6.5 yards, all right, right now we're trying to get these guys to bend and turn. Pastor, this is going to blow y'all's mind, guys. Wherever you're going, that's where your toe is pointing. Did y'all know that? If I'm going straight, my toes got to be pointing straight. That's what this is trying to incorporate, getting them to turn their toes and point it towards the quarterback. All right. You're getting to your move area and then you're forcing yourself to turn. Again, it's going to look like they're running into each other. The goal is to try to not get them past this line, trying to shorten that angle as much as they can. But like right now, it looks weird. They're running into each other. All right. A couple of times it's going to be weird. Some guys are shortening the edge. Some guys are a little taller, whatever it may be. Some guys are going past the line. But the key here is one, two, third step, you're starting to flip. So one, two, this third step should now start pointing this way because you need to get to your man in 3 steps. Okay. So right here, there's the pros doing it. That's what it should look like. One, two, watch that outside leg. Watch where his feet land. All right, a little bit behind the line. Look at Kenny's landing point, right past the line. But at his second step, he's right at his offensive lineman. This right here, you put the guards there, that's the center. You're simulating they're already on their set. So he needs to get there in 2 steps. What I also love about this is the upper body rotation. Okay, we'll talk about that here shortly. But that's what it's supposed to look like. They're not drifting. Yeah, the quarterback is probably going to be more somewhere over here, but we're working those tight angles. Because now when you get to a game, somebody's going to be right here trying to push you this way. And now you got to work that while trying to beat someone and lean. Now let's see if we get a better, there we go. Now we're getting better get offs. Much better. There it is. One, two, third step, upper body rotation already, toes already pointing to where we want to go, and then we can now finish the rush. All right. Couple of examples of this, working it on the get off. Slow get off here. There it is, bending that corner. Difference between college football and the NFL. Bending that corner, turning. This is literally just the get off drill. This is kind of like the college version of it. So as you look at, I know somebody have questions about NFL film. You got to realize in the NFL, stuff happens a lot quicker. And these quarterbacks are $1 million investments. So they're not allowed to run as much. So they're going to be more in the pocket as much, not the Patrick Mahomes or those guys. They kind of move around. But for the most part, quarterbacks they don't run quarterbacks like they do in college because that's $1 million investment. So some of the step through stuff that y'all have seen them doing 3 steps in the league, I kind of just converted it because I watched tape. Okay, this is how long it takes us to turn that corner. Maybe incorporate that into my indie. So that way, as they get better, we'll get to the advanced version eventually. But that's a really good job by 98. That's just the drill. Get off and step through. Turn that corner. All right. Here it is again. Same guy. That was kind of his baby. This is like I was talking to y'all earlier. This guy weighed 190. And these are his 2 sacks of the year. But of just turning that corner. But like right here, see how high he is? This dude should be running out this way. That's why if your quarterback doesn't have that much, this is kind of more of a shorter launch point position, but that's why you want to work that lean as tight as you can. And if you start getting behind the quarterback, be ready to retrace. But he did a good job of, one, pointing his toe to where the quarterback is, and then now he's able to get off and go finish. All right. So let's talk about the shoulders and feet. All right. I'm gonna use so offensive linemen are taught put their hand here, 10 and 2, right there. If this is your shoulder, they're taught, and let's say this is 92, they're taught one hand here and one hand here. So not just the toe point is important, but the upper body rotation. Being able to turn perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, right there. working on those, because if they're shooting one hand here, when you turn, now one hand is going to be here and the other one is there. So they're missing, taking that surface away from them. So this is just a good drill to get your guys to learn how to turn. Some coaches call it flipping their hips, upper body rotation. If you turn your shoulders, your hips are going to come with it. We just stay on one side and just flip it. Upper body rotation. Make them not use their hands. Make them just throw that shoulder and then work on that toe point. If a guy doesn't have the flexibility for toe pointing, that's kind of where you get to flipping your hips. 26 right here, he's got a lot more nimbler hips and shoulders. He's kind of making it look a little bit easier. And then you get some of the guys that are a little stiffer, as you can see. Watch 26's movements. He's staying tight. What do you want again on this? Still stay tight to the pop-up. And run, we want separation because the O-line wants us tight. That's why we play with hands and get knockback. And pass, the offensive line wants separation so they can get us away from them and they can see what we're doing while we're the opposite. If they want us to be separated, we want to get tight so we can throw our moves. So that's kind of like a way for you to see if your guys are flexible or not. If he's flipping his hips and it's almost like he's drifting out, got to work on some more hip flexibility. All right, got to work on some more hip flexibility, okay? And then as you incorporate these, as your guys start getting better, now we're going to now incorporate the feet stuff. You get the agile bags, get them moving, and then just getting them to flip their hips in a complete 180 situation. All right? Get them going, flip their hips. That's how you know who you got that can pass rush and work some of these finesse moves. These are some drills. Get their feet going, getting them be able to turn, flip their hips as they're working, okay? And then there now you get them in a three-point stance, work the same thing. Now they're running. All right, they're working the same side, shaded on the left, pass rush on the left side, good feet, be able to work to the other side. Watching guys move fluidly through all of this. That's how you know which one of your guys can rush and have the flexibility to work on finesse moves. If they can't work on this, that's okay. Like right here, big 9'6", he's more of a power guy. That's okay. We need people that can push the pocket. 26 is not as big. He's more of a finesse guy. That's all right. Set him up. This guy's a little taller and bigger. He's a little bit in between. He can kind of do both. And as y'all are seeing them here, they're working. Some of them are working to reach at the end. When you're at the top of your rush, and let's say you're engaging an offensive lineman, this reach forces you to also flip your hips and point your toes to wherever you need to be going, okay? And then the other part is, as y'all are working these hands, feet, shoulder, now you got to work some hand combat. When you beat the man, when you beat the hands, you beat the man. So right here, what I like about this, some coaches like to teach club arm over. I like to teach kind of like a forearm swipe, because if you're going club, you just have your hands. But if you're going swipe, you're using all of this forearm. You got more of a surface area to swipe his hands away versus if you're just trying to use your hands and grab. So I encourage guys, if they're going instead of a club arm over, just go swipe arm over, whether it's inside hand or outside hand. Have you guys have fun with it. This is kind of an opportunity to get them off their feet a little bit, but they're working their hands and at the same time working upper body rotation. There's being a little goofy here, getting this low, but that's fine as long as they're doing what they need to. And then at the end, always work the finish. All right, I know a coach asked earlier if you got to grab and tug with the other hand. Absolutely. This is just like an arm over finish when you're doing drills. All right, more hand combat stuff. Use Rogers. I appreciate y'all, man. Titan, that's another one of my favorite deals. But again, we're working swipe. Look at the upper body rotation. Look at the step through. And then look at the tight finish. That's a good job with Surge, or excuse me, Titan. And then watching some hand work in drills, there it is. Again, it needs to take you 2 steps to get to where you need to be. And then when you're swiping, go for the forearms, you beat the hand. There's a slight upper body rotation. Now reach, there's the reach with the outside hand. So now he can point his toe to where he's going. There it is. Set him up in different ways. Pass rush is all about misdirection. Make him stop his feet, try to swipe. He missed. He opens up the gate. Now this turns into get off and step through. But that's where it's a little different in college. This dude has got like almost a 10-yard launch point. That's bad. That's bad. If you got a 10, 11, 12-yard launch point by a quarterback, now your edge guys got all the room in the world to make it. There he is again.